Hi, so today we are going to be talking about the 13, yes, you heard that right, 13 things you need to know about Utah before moving to the Beehive State, and we're going to get started right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel. This channel is literally everything you need to know about the Salt Lake City, Utah area, eating, playing, sleeping, working, and living here. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below so you don't miss a thing. We hear from people like you all the time who are relocating or looking to make a move. Even if you're thinking in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, we love connecting with you. Maybe it's a year from now. So feel free to shoot us a message, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and it would be our pleasure to connect with you. Okay. If you are thinking about moving here to the Beehive State, there are some things that you need to know before you make the big move. Number one, if you are thinking about moving here to Utah, something you need to know is there is a lot of wildlife. In fact, a lot more wildlife than I thought before I had moved here. Now, when I'm talking wildlife, I'm talking mostly about deer. We have deer roaming around all over. If I'm bringing my kids to school, sometimes there are deer crossing right in the middle of the road. Not only like the wildlife, but because Utah is more farmland and equestrian, it's not uncommon to see lots of, people raising cattle, people having horses. I've got friends that have mules. They take their mules for rides here and there, just like they would their horse. So you're going to see a lot more, not only wildlife, but you're also going to see a lot more animals and pets than maybe if you're living in the city, because Utah, there is a lot more space. In fact, we had our neighbor they had horses just recently, and we came over just after one of their colts was born, and it was just so fun to see that in an area like this. So number one, don't be surprised if you see a lot of wildlife, and if if your neighbors have pets and not just a dog and a cat, but lots of people do that too. All right, number two, I'm pretty sure Utah, if Utah was to have a state sport, which we don't, it would be pickleball. Pickleball has taken over Utah. I am telling you, if you ask somebody here in Utah, hey, have you ever played pickleball before? 99% of the time, if people have not played it, they have heard of it, or they know somebody who has a pickleball court, or they know of somebody who plays regularly. Actually, funny story, the first time that my parents and my family, we were taking a trip to St. George, Utah, and the place that we were staying at just so happened to have some pickleball courts. So we checked into our room, and the people had said, oh, and by the way, if you need rackets for pickleball or, a basketball or whatever, just let us know and you can check out the rackets here. And we looked at each other, we're like, oh, pickleball, what is that? I had never even heard of it a couple of years ago. And so we brought my 4 kids, at the time, I think they were probably 10, 7, and my twins were probably 4 at the time. And we took the family out. We played pickleball. We had a absolute blast. So pickleball, a lot of the tennis courts here in Utah, not all of them, but some of them are being converted into pickleball courts, because pickleball courts are a little bit smaller than a tennis court. So don't be surprised if somebody asks you about pickleball here. Number 3, the soda and sweet shops here are unbelievable. They are next level. And when I say soda and sweet shops, so in some places, obviously they've got different drive-throughs and different restaurants. Well, they have drive-throughs here in Utah to get a soda. It is not uncommon to have to wait 20 minutes to get your soda, and people will wait in lines. You will see the carpool moms, you will see the dads, you will see people waiting a very long time to get their soda. And when they're waiting to get their soda, you can also, now they do like pretzel bites, and now they do all sorts of different things. Cookies, of course, and other sweet treats. So number 3, don't be surprised if somebody asks you, hey, do you want to go to Swig, which is a soda shop, or Quench It, which is another one, or Fizz, or Sodalicious. Those are big here. So that's number 3. Number 4 is the college rivalry. Now, the college rivalry here in Utah, there's a couple of them, but the main ones here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, definitely University of Utah, the Utes, and BYU, the Cougars, Brigham Young University. Their college, the football teams, one is red and white, the other is blue and white, and the rivalry is real. And people will have, the license plate holders, they will have flags flying out in their front yard of their favorite team. If you say like, oh, I'm a BYU fan, you might have a Utes fan that says, oh, I don't even know if we can be friends. In the beginning, I thought, wait, this is a joke, but now I've realized it is a little bit more serious. Yes, there's a lot of like joking in that, but there is a major rivalry between those two schools, University of Utah and BYU. So just telling you, there is a big rivalry. And if somebody asks you like, oh, hey, are you going for the Utes or are you going for BYU? Just beware. And I told you so. Okay. Okay, so number 5, things you need to know before you move to Utah is the speed limit. Now, the speed limit on the highways, like on one of our main highways, which is the 15, majority of the time it is 70 miles an hour. However, if you are going from Salt Lake City down south to St. George, there is a large stretch of that freeway that is actually 80 miles an hour. I remember getting on the freeway for the first time and I remember thinking like, why are cars flying past me? And this was coming from Southern California, where cars have a tendency to drive very fast as well. But I just remember thinking, gosh, this is really fast. And then I look over at the speed limit and I went, oh, it's 80 miles an hour. I better pick up my speed here. So just keep that in mind, that speed limits on a lot of the highways are 70 miles per hour, and then also get up to 80 miles an hour as well. Number 6, something to be aware of here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area is you will find many restaurants, many shops, many sporting activities for children and families. They are going to be closed on Sunday. So if you are coming in and are wanting to go to Nieder's Cafe, or you're wanting to go to Costa Vida or Cafe Rio, majority of those restaurants, and again, like the sweet shops, a lot of those ones are going to be closed on Sunday. Many people of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints observe that Sabbath day, that Sunday, and they have that more of a day of rest and more of a family time and going to church and doing that, and try to avoid shopping and eating out and doing some of those things on Sunday. So just beware if you're coming into town and you're thinking, oh, I really want to go to this place, there's a good chance it might be closed. However, a lot of the big chain restaurants and chain, big grocery stores, or like a Costco, that's going to be open. And so things like that will, but a lot of the smaller restaurants, they will be closed. Number 7 is something you need to know is there is a good chance if you move here and you meet a group of 10 people, there's a good chance that one of those people will probably be a home builder or will be related to a home builder. We have met more home builders here in Utah than I think we ever did living I grew up in California. I grew up in Northern California, and then I spent 15 years down in Southern California. I have met more home builders here in Utah in the few years that we have lived here than I did, I think, my entire life of living in California. There are just many home builders here, and they do some incredible work, and it has been so fun, touring a lot of these different homes here. They have what's called the Parade of Homes, in Utah different times of the year. They have a St. George Parade of Homes. They have a Utah Valley Parade of Homes. They have a Salt Lake Parade of Homes. They even have a Northern Wasatch Parade of Homes. And then they have one out in Park City as well called the Park City Showcase of Homes. So just a lot of builders here in the area, and them showcasing their homes is a really cool thing to do. So if you're coming out here, check out the Parade of Homes. I'm telling you, hopefully you'll love it as much as I do. Number 8. Okay, this has just been from my personal experience, but I am telling you, this Salt Lake City, Utah area, there are so many friendly people. Neighbors, if you, like when we just moved in for the first time, we had people knocking on our door. We had somebody bringing us chips and salsa. We had another person saying, hey, if you need any help with this, that, or the other, let us know. I had a family that I helped buy a house in the area recently, and it was just the best thing. When I'm giving them their keys, they've got neighbors coming over. One comes over with toilet paper, another one comes over with brownies, another one came over and said, here, your kids can play in our backyard. And just very, very helpful, friendly people here in Utah. So don't be surprised if your neighbors are knocking on your door asking how they can help you here as well. All right, so number 9, moving here to Utah, and actually you can kind of see this a little bit. Something that people don't tell you, or at least I didn't know about this before we moved here, is it is windy. There can be big gusts of wind that come up. And in fact, we have had patio furniture fly over to practically our neighbor's house. We've had our garbage cans fly out. You'll notice here in Utah that you will see many families that have trampolines at their house. The trampolines are all in-ground trampolines. Not all of them, majority of them are. And that is because those huge gusts of wind will take your trampoline and they will throw it literally right over to your neighbor's house. So just be aware of the trampolines and those big gusts of wind, because what happens a lot of time is, because the Salt Lake City area, we are surrounded kind of in a valley, in a bowl, and when a storm comes through, it just blows right on through, and those huge gusts of wind just take it and keep on going. So don't be surprised if you experience some very, very windy weather while you are here. So going along with weather, people love here. This is going to be my number 10. People love spending time outdoors here in Utah. And the Utahns, they love their outdoor toys. They actually love their indoor toys too. But we're talking ATVs, we're talking electric bikes, we're talking electric scooters, we're talking kayaks and canoes and paddle boards and boats, you name it. There is a good chance that your neighbor probably owns a boat, or knows somebody that owns a boat, or has a scooter, or has an ATV, or just some of these different things, these toys here in Utah. In fact, a lot of people have a separate garage, or, we'll have a third car garage just for all of their fun play toys here. So that is number 10. Number 11, don't be surprised if you can't find what some people call really good, authentic Mexican food here in Utah. It is few and far in between to find the real, California, Mexican authentic food here. It's funny because a lot of the different Mexican restaurants that we have gone, we love Mexican food. It's delicious, but just be aware that some of the Mexican food, they might call it authentic, but let me know if you live here, or if you are visiting, or you just moved here. Tell me what you think about the Mexican food, and we'll just leave it at that. All right, moving on. Number 12 and 13. These are our last two. Number 12, don't be surprised if you see people wearing long shorts and kind of cap sleeve, or if they have, a tank top, but then they have a shirt underneath it. Many members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have, they try to dress modestly. So you might see longer shorts. You might see, tops that, like I said, have a cap sleeve to it or whatnot. And then number 13 is because many of the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, they go on missions for the church. And when they return home from their mission, it is not uncommon for people to have big banners and signs that say, you know, welcome home, Sister Smith, or welcome home, Elder Smith. And they might have, you know, ribbons tied around all the trees in the neighborhood, and they're all the same color. And again, just big banners, and they have big parties and welcoming home things for that. And so it is not uncommon to see those signs and to see all of that here in Utah as well. So if you are thinking about making a move or relocating here to the Salt Lake City, Utah area, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. And again, these are 13 things that you may or may not have known about moving here to Utah, but I wanted to make sure you have that information before you relocate here. Take care.